like you are looking for exam, or like we all come from, like I come from a place, you will wonder, I come from a very middle class families, and whatever I achieved, this is because of my own achievement. So as a student, when I started, I mean, this was all my own motivation. And if I would have looked around, it was very discouraging. So sometimes you have to find a way out, self-sustain yourself. So that if there is an element that need for achievement in you, so you have to put in a spark on that. You have to keep that. That is very important. So then you have to put those standards to achieve, and then striving to succeed. And sometimes in a kind of very uncompromising, I mean, a kind of environment which is more demanding, this is very important, right? Then you can sustain your interest. Like presently, right now, we have to self-sustain, we have to cheer up and all. We don't have a choice, right? We don't want to get, you can say, depressions and stress, right? Otherwise, we end up there. So we have, as a human being, always they have bounced back. This is the history of, and great people, or if we all have as a human being those elements. And then need for power. This is the second need. You want to control situation and all. We all want, am I right, to become manager, to become having responsible position and all. And then we want people. This is also very, very important. Need for affiliation. We are human beings. So we desire for friendly and close relationship. We love. We want to talk. That is what we are missing now, the friends and all. You understand this? Earlier we used to say, these are the, you can say, like, you know, the social websites and all. But now, if you look at technology itself, but that has making your life possible. But use of technology. I'm not saying social website, you sit on Twitter and Facebook and WhatsApp, that will kill your time. So it is double-edged weapon. Very important, guys. This is a double-edged weapon. I call it shaitan. You know shaitan, what is there? In our parlance, shaitan is that deviate. One is the angel, other is the devil. So this mobile phone is very good, but at the same time, this is devil. So how you organize yours? Otherwise, it will kill your career. You will be there stuck. Many of the students, they don't sleep on time, not healthy habits. They don't play, they don't exercise. Now the COVID is there, even before. I tell all my students and all. So you have to guard yourself with this shaitan. Use it, be it, don't go into his like, you know, possession, rather than you possess this. You have to have control over this machine. Very powerful machine. You can connect it anywhere in the world right now. And you can do anything like earlier lecture. I think, Mr. Gupta, are you a wing commander?
You're true, sir. True. Very correct.
Yeah. So they have been flying for, I don't know, many years. With a wing, how many planes and across a squadron, am I right? So this
I was making machine to fly. I am an engineer, aeronautical engineer.
Okay, whatever. But you are, I understood now your background. Sorry. Even then. So very important is, like in any job, I mean, to having the control over the machine, like I just talking about. So it should not take your control in any situation. So that's the challenge now. So use that technology and then other. So anyway, so these are the theories of motivation. They say you must have a higher need for achievement. You are going to have succeed, am I right? And those, if you want to a more leader and also that need for power. At the same time, your need for affiliation is also making going to, so you must have this need, am I right? I mean, you have to look at, we need people, am I right? So empathy is very important now, or always, but now it has become more because, you know, as then the crisis, we need to be nice. And we be nice before somebody be nice with you. So first you be nice. So as a student also in any situation, empathy is not too okay to take care of your career. I still remember as a student, like, you know, some of the students we have used to, I started my school in a hostel. Yes, Mahinder Gupta raised hand. Mahinder, at the end, you keep your questions. I will come back to you. Let me just run through. Yeah, so here is uh, individual efforts. This theory, the other theory is expectancy theory. So motivation, like as a, how we sustain as a student, motivation, like I was just saying, sometimes it is not to learning yourself, making your friend learn also. And sometimes to learn yourself, like I still remember my calculus classes, but to make somebody, or organic chemistry classes, I still remember, to somebody is very difficult. Why? To learn yourself in easy. But that's the key. That's the key. How good you are. So that kind of behavior is making you different, and that will give you peace as well. That will make you more worthy of what you are. At the same time, the blessing, if you believe in those natural or whatever, the God, Allah, what name, Bhagwan, or like Banaras, we all know. All these, the Baba's Kirpa, like, so this is like, Baba Vishwanath. So I still remember, I mean, like I was saying, my school days, the student, they used to sleep, and some of the good students, they used to get up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, you understand? And they used to give message that they are sleeping to other students, and they used to do. Yeah, at that point of time, I can understand it was difficult for me, but to have that sort of, so extra effort is required. Coming back to the issue here again, self-motivation, or what is motivation? Motivation is the fire inside you. Evaluate your fire. Do you have fire? Ask yourself. You want to do, then you can do. Like I have a son, and I asked him, what do you want to do? I wanted him to be a doctor when he was in class 12. And I was able to sponsor. I said, go to any school and all. He said, no, I am not stupid. I don't want to be a doctor. I said, what are you saying? He said, look, I want to be an engineer. I want to study computer science. That's it. I'm not going to study, because my niece was studying, and her sister, cousin, and say, I'm not going to study 12 hours and 40 hours to study medicine and all these. I'm not stupid. And what I'm going to make, and what life after that. And he went into, and I was amazed. He said, yeah, I don't want. So you must be very clear what you are doing. You must be very clear. So I said, okay, though I wanted my dream, sometimes what happens, what parents have not achieved, through their children, they want to achieve. Don't do that. You love football, start playing football. If you love cricket, go and practice hard, make your name there. So whatever I mean, you have to make your commitment. You have to ask yourself, the desire, the fire should be there. You understand? Otherwise, you will be just here. This is a very important point. So I'm just talking another theory of motivation. Then I will come back to those generic things as a student, which is in the career aspiration, how you can, and what kind of challenges are going to happen, especially in present scenario. Like if you look at, there is another theory which explains our motivations. Like I say, motivation is the fire inside us. So there are three things he's talking here. Expectancy. What does it mean? How your efforts lead to performance. So believe in you, that is what we call self-efficacy, how much you believe in yourself. Self-belief is the key issue. So unless you have competency, skill, then if your efforts is going to lead to performance, you must have a belief, if I work hard, I will pass this exam. Either CDS on NDA. I have given once, I tried NDA, I remember when I was schools. And in fact, I was selected in one exam, but my family was thinking something, they wanted me to do this. And then I left all these, I qualified NET, JRF. I was chosen at ONGC as a personal officer at that time, but somehow my name was in panel, and I got that JRF position, so I getting good money. And the situation as such was there that, and the guy told, you are getting JRF, why you are going for all these? So they said, this is the better than that. I still remember Mr. Vinay Kumar. No, he was general manager in ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Commission, Tel Bhavan, Dehradun. I met him, he says, Swami, he said, Khan, tum kya karoge isko karke? He was also from Bihar. I am from Gaya. So he was from Patna, Vinay Kumar. He was a Delhi University graduate. And that guy was telling me, he said, go PhD. He was teaching at Delhi University at that time. He left and came to that company. So he discouraged me. After that, I didn't look at where was my name was in panel. I have achieved 7th position all over India in that rank. Alhamdulillah. Anyway, coming back to the issue here. So your effort and performance. So belief in you, if you work hard, this will lead to performance. So that is very important. Second thing is you believe in you that if I perform, I will get rewarded. This is the second most important thing, which we call instrumentality. In some situation, like, in political scenario or our bureaucratic system, the student work hard, somebody else who have parvi or who have connections or malice, who knows the ministers and all, he gets selected, or some fudge, everything coming. The student working hard, somebody else get, because he pays money. So sometimes we don't have that. If I work hard, I will get, because it is fairness. If fairness doesn't exist, sometimes, we don't work hard. So even in any organization, if you're an employee, you see, if I work hard, I will not result. Why to work hard? So this is the second important. So you must have believed that if I work hard, I will succeed. The system is fair. And third thing is reward. What you are going to get, like for your performance is going to get reward. Third is the key issue is if your reward, whatever you are going to get is really attracts you. It is part of your personal goal. That's a relationship. If any one of them three is missing here, your motivation will become zero. So you must have belief in you that I will say expectancy. Second thing is believe that, if I'll work hard, performance, reward, relationship, you must have. So the fairness of the system or structure. And third thing is whatever I'm going to the reward making in my life or that career is really attractive to me. So I will give myself whatever is required. If these three existing in a given situation and you organize yourself, you are going to be successful. So be sure to have. So that's why as a organizer as well as a employer, or even for it is from both perspective, from as a student perspective or for an institutional perspective, both are equally relevant. If you want to sustain your student, you have to ensure that performance is rewarded. If the student study, work hard, they get not poor grade, why they will study? No point. Let us look as here is, I'm talking these challenges, especially for my younger student, this is highly related to that. So I'm talking here about emotional intelligence, very important. And I'm talking how learning and unlearning is very important. No learning comes without unlearning. This is what Kurt Lewin says. So it is not possible to learn without unlearning. Because you have to make adjustment with the previous set of learning. Otherwise, you will just reject. You will just say, what Dr. Sami is saying, Dr. Khan is saying, it is all rubbish. It doesn't work. Maybe working somewhere else. You will just dump it down here. You understand? You say, there are many. Like sometimes our father says, or like in childhood, like, or like we say to our kids harmony, say, he doesn't know anything. Dad, you don't know. In your time. You understand? So that's the very important is learning comes with unlearning. That means you have to listen. So listening is also very, very important. Most of the problem is we are very poor listener. I'm not going to check how good you are as a listener here, because I teach my student and I used to be very bad teacher earlier. I tell you in 2 minutes in the end, but I have too many stories to tell. When I was teaching in India, now I am a better teacher. Earlier I used to be very strict teacher. I'll tell you my story. When I was teaching in Delhi, I taught 6 years in Delhi. And I used to close the door. 5 minutes, nobody delay. This is Dr. Khan class. I used to teach MBA course at Jamia Millia, and I was teaching at Lodi as a full time. And 2 years I was with Shriram Center for Industrial Relations. So I used to just bolt the door. 46 people inside, and some of them of my age also, because it was MBA part time, and also now I revisit those, and then they say, I was little more strict and all, like as an army officer sitting here. So this was more in terms of, but discipline was there. That message I used to give, because this is very important in life to sustain, to organize yourself. If you don't have discipline, you cannot organize. But element of flexibility is also important. So sometimes we have to discipline with flexibility, but flexibility for the sake of performance, not for sake of enjoying free cake. Not, that is not flexibility. Flexibility is giving so that the power can, the individual can use it in a better way. Rather than having one way to do thing, you have many ways. That's flexibility. Anyway, coming back to, like I was saying, learning is the key issue. So for you as well, you have to open up, never shut your mind, experiment new learning, and you have to unlearn in that process. So any new learning will create problems to your mind. You say, what is going on? It is part of the process. So if, say, for example, I give you, and you have to create an environment. Like here, just my previous speaker was saying, like, you have to create an environment and then seriousness for that. So like you have to be in a zone. Then like I'm going to 1 year, 2 year devote to my careers to then you have to divide for this. This is very important. Like, say, for example, I just shared this. I mean, when if you try to add, say, for example, how you make ice cream. If you want to add sugar to ice, will it go? A melt sugar, hard cube of ice, sugar will go? Answer is no. So most of us, sometimes the student, they are very hard, you understand? And sometimes as a trainer, as a teacher, as a father, or sometimes as a manager to my employees, they are hard. They have their own. They say, yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't know. We look at. And younger generation, right? They have a lot of egos now. There's a huge arrogance now. So the kind of, because you don't have, even if you have deprivation of stuff, otherwise, I don't know. The younger generation are more self-confident, more technologically, so they think we are more equipped. And I'm not saying all, but most of the cases across nation, I'm telling you. Either it in India, in GCC country, 3-4 country I have taught. I have been very regular to UK, US. I have visited Japan, China. I know very much about Australia. So I know the school system, the student there, you understand? They have different traits and all. So, but coming back to the issue, the arrogance, the big ego, that's you have to kill. So anyway, so if you want to add those eyes, it will go, it will not go. Take out from fridge, keep that ice in a ball, you understand? A cone, that ice will melt out. And then you add your sugar. So this is the unlearning, that melting is unlearning. And then add your sugar. And then again you put relearning, reinforce and freeze. So this is what Kurt Lewin say. Otherwise you are not going to, you are hardcore, most of that. That's why the adult learning is difficult. Children, they are the best learning, we say. Because as an adult, we have our own way of looking at things, and most of the time we reject. We say what works for me, what doesn't work for me. You understand? There is a nice saying here. I will, just quote, I very interesting.
Hello.
Yeah, it's just I'll two couplet. Somebody has said, this is Nida Fazli. He says, वो सूफी का कौल हो या पंडित का ज्ञान. वो Sufi is the man, like, who is very close to God. वो सूफी का कौल हो या पंडित का ज्ञान, जितने बीते आप पर उतना ही सच मान. जितने बीते आप पर उतना ही सच मान. So this is talking about what the great saying and all these, unless you have gone through process, that's your truth. So you have to create your own truth, but you have to be ready to listen. That's very important. Then you can explain. So that is the learning is the key issue. So, and no, like as a teacher, I said, so to be a good teacher, you have to be a good learner.
So this speaker is taking time more.
Next is 3 things I'm going to talk here is the most of us as a student or a teacher. How many minutes I have?
So
I'm just carrying on. Yeah. So there is a.
We will connect you. Huh? Okay. Be there. Huh? Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, so there is a CIA syndrome, which we say for the student or for anybody. We call it CIA is the agency we all know, well known, this intelligence agency. Yes. But these are three big diseases in us and a student as well. So I'm just addressing those students, and this is very, very relevant for them. Very, very relevant, believe me, to all of you. So, I mean, this is very much required. I mean, yeah, like it's talking about CIS syndrome. Like what does it mean? It means that most of us, these three big viruses, like, they are more dangerous than COVID. Yeah, COVID is also equally dangerous because it is also changing a strain, but this is also very dangerous disease we all have. The first thing is complacency. Being complacent. We'll do it later. Kal karenge. Tomorrow never comes most of the time. Here in our world, in Arabic, we call bukra. Bukra means tomorrow. Anything, any employee say, yeah, we'll see it tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes, man. So most of the time we are complacent, inertia in us. We'll keep things together, right? So piling up. And most of the time we are complacent. We'll say, like I'm just saying, walking, okay, I'm gaining weight now being inside. So tomorrow I will start walking. I will quit my smoking, say for example, tomorrow, next week. I mean, this complacency or anything from, and it is equally relevant for individuals, either as a student, as a father, as a teacher, or in any situation, right? So it is not disease which is equal, and this disease is equally relevant for organization as well, or for department as well. Even for countries, this is the national culture part of them. Like in our part of the world, we are very easy. Take it easy, man. Enjoy your life. We are complacent. Hoga na, dikkat kya hai? So that complacency, that kills. It is the big enemy. You have to be organized. You have to do things on time.